on, everybody, and welcome to the season finale of season 11 of Cronkite Sports Live. And for some of us, Nick, it is the series finale, as a few seniors here in our Cronkite Sports Live crew today, including myself, get set for our final show. And I got to tell you, it's emotional.
Yeah, what are the emotions like right now? Scale of 1 to 10.
Honestly, right now I'm at about an 8. We'll see where I am about the end of the show, but I can tell you what, my emotions are nothing compared to that of N'Keal Harry right now.
It was a fun night last night, wasn't it?
Absolutely. N'Keal Harry drafted 32nd overall by the Patriots, and last night, Sun Devil fans watched and waited with anticipation they haven't felt on day one of the draft in a few years. Not since Demarius Randall was selected 30th by the Packers in 2015 had a Sun Devil gone in the first round, and before that, you have to go back to 2003 when Terrell Suggs left Ball So Hard University. The New England Patriots selected N'Keal Harry with the 32nd pick in the NFL draft, and Harry is undoubtedly one of the all-time greats, and you can find his name all over top 10 receiving records for the Sun Devils. He finished his 3-year Sun Devil career with 213 receptions, totaling 2,889 yards, both of which are good for third all-time. And his 22 touchdowns placed him in a tie for fifth. If he would have stayed, he could have easily rewritten the ASU record book, but he didn't need to, and New England is better for it.
A couple of weeks ago, I sat here with each and every one of you and discussed my concerns with
baseball. It's roster size, bullpen management, and other things as well. In Las Vegas earlier that week, the Sun Devils had what I've seen as the most atrocious game in my time covering the team. UNLV came back to score 6 runs in the 9th and walk off ASU. With the Devils looking to prove it was a fluke and UNLV trying to make it known a fluke it was not, the Rebels and Devils were at it again this week. But in Phoenix, and our Kylie Mathias was there.
2 weeks ago against UNLV, Arizona State baseball suffered one of the worst losses head coach Tracy Smith had ever seen. But this time, the Devils weren't going to let the game get away from them again. Nearly everyone got in on the action offensively, with 3 different Devils firing off home runs and a 3 RBI night from Alika Williams leading the way. The defense was near flawless, with pitching holding the Rebels to just 2 runs, putting ASU in a similar position as last time out to beat UNLV. After a disastrous 9th inning that led to the Devils blowing a 9-4 lead to the Rebels in a game just a few weeks ago, Sam Romero got the chance to redeem himself and close out the game once again. This time, it took Romero just 11 pitches to get through the 9th and secure a 9-2 win over UNLV.
We didn't forget that feeling we had after that game, and we kind of took that with us into this game, kind of like a chip on our shoulder, like we need to get this one right here. And we played a good, clean baseball game, which is really good going into this weekend.
Every game for us is critical down the stretch in terms of the things that we want to do overall for a program. But no, I mean, our battle cry was not, hey, let's stick it to these guys because we've lost. You know, it wasn't. It's a midweek game that was very important in the overall big picture, and so that's what our focus was. So I was really pleased with how solidly we played tonight, and a good way to build on into the weekend.
The Devils look to continue that good, clean play this weekend as they get back into conference action on the road at Washington. From Phoenix Municipal Stadium, Carly Mathias, Cronkite Sports.
Well, ASU basketball won't play a game until the fall. The offseason brings with it a lot of movement both into and out of the program. And joining me to discuss all the latest movement is WCSN basketball reporter Chris Gleason. Chris, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And so I mentioned there are some departures, people leaving the program. So what can you tell me about the crop that is heading out of Tempe?
Yeah, Andre, in addition to Daquan Lake and Zylan Cheatham graduating, Dort entering the draft, a couple of transfers and a couple of coaches have departed ASU basketball. Start with Uros Plavsic, probably the most notable of all of them, the 7-footer that they had. He had redshirted last year, was expected to step up big time this season. But the coach that actually recruited him here, you see, Drazen Zlovaric, left after only 1 season as the assistant coach, so that likely played a role as well. You see Anthony Coleman was the other coach to head out, played a huge role in recruiting Lugens Dort, so a big loss there. And then Vitaly Scheibel, not a huge loss as he really hadn't proved himself. Went down from playing 32 games his freshman year to 12 this season, so not a surprise there.
And as the old adage goes, out with the old and in with the new, and the Sun Devils are bringing in yet another talented recruiting class in 2019. What can you tell me about them?
Yeah, it's a class that features 3 in-state guys, and it is guard heavy. You see, Caleb Christopher, Jalen House, along with Alonzo Verge, round out a 3-guard class. The one big man they brought in, Jalen Graham, a 3-star from in-state. He was a number 33 recruit in the state and played very well in his high school days, averaged 4.5 blocks with 15 points per game. So he's someone that will be expected to step in very quickly. As for those other 3 guards, they come onto a team that already has Remy Martin and Rob Edwards. So it's a good situation for Jalen House and those other guys to kind of get their footing under them and learn from the experienced guys.
And you mentioned 3 of those guys are in-state products, and ASU has oftentimes, at least in recent memory, played little brother to U of A, especially when it came to recruiting grounds. And now they're starting to make up some traction, get these big-name guys. How important is in-state recruiting for the Sun Devils?
Yeah, it's extremely important, and you see this year was a huge step for them as their last in-state recruit before the 3 they got this season was Andre Adams back in 2015. Ended up leaving the program after 2 seasons and transferring to Southern Utah, so it's really a positive step for ASU, especially in a year where Nico Mannion was the biggest in-state recruit, a 5-star guy, ended up at Arizona. But you see ASU able to get a few guys, and I think Zylan Cheatham really kind of paved the way for that. Jalen Graham specifically talked about how much he admires his style of play and that how Cheatham talked to him about how much the coaches care about you. So it is starting to develop here, their in-state recruiting, and with Hurley here through 2022, hopefully that's something that they can continue to work with.
Bobby Hurley and company certainly trying to build something special here in Tempe, and here at our downtown Phoenix studio, we're trying to build something special as well. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And here at WCSN, we pride ourselves on inventive content and diversity of content. We cover almost every single sport on campus, look to find unique ways to do so. Coming up here, we have yet another perfect example. Our own Reed Harmon recently interviewed ASU Beach Volleyball's #1 pairing, Aluma Akaro and Ashley Wentz. But it's how he interviewed them that really makes the story. I won't spoil it, unlike the people on Twitter spoiling Avengers. Just see for yourself.
We're in Tempe, where ASU Beach Volleyball is having their most successful season to date, and a lot of that credit comes from Aluma Akaro and Ashley Wentz, the top pair for ASU Beach Volleyball. And today, we're going to be seeing them. We're going to put them to the test against me and my buddy Griffin. It's going to be a little tough, but we'll see if we could handle them.
Okay. Here. Cross your angle.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up.
Line.
Nice. Nice job.
You guys came into the season, won 12 straight matches, was named Pac-12 Pair of the Week for the first time in this program's history. So how do you guys keep that consistency?
Yeah, and definitely I think both being 5th years, our experience just handling the pressure of performing well. Like, we both played on teams that have done really well in seasons, and so it's something that you get used to over the years, that kind of pressure.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're off. Oh, and
out.
Out. Nice. Good job.
But when you guys come here, because you guys go into the same van when you guys come here, correct? So what kind of music do you guys listen to on the way over?
You mean when we travel places?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Well, our van is very controversial.
We have a lot of different music
There's
tastes
like
in our van.
so many different tastes. I like to listen to hip hop and rap. That gets me going before a game, you know?
Right.
But we have some players, like one of our teammates, she doesn't like that, or like she likes kind of more of a nice, like, is it EDM that she likes, or it's just kind of a more pop, you know, kind of like pop or EDM, kind of like that. So it's like we're trying to figure out like where to find the balance in between, you know?
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Come on. Out.
Oh, and
Dang it.
nice.
Nice shot.
From Ashley Wentz and Aluma Akaro, I'm Reed Harmon, and this is Cronkite Sports.
In 2010, a gallon of gas cost $2.75. Twitter had 70,000 users, and Iron Man 2 was released that May. The game-changing iPhone 4 was unveiled, and Shawn Michaels retired following a loss to The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26 right here in Arizona. In 2010, I looked like this. I was in middle school and quite content with life, as you can see from that glorious picture. 2010 was also the last time an Arizona State gymnast was honored as an All-American, when Mary Atkinson earned a 9.9 on vault at nationals. Since 2010, Twitter now has over 300 million users. Apple has started using letters to label iPhones, and a ton of Marvel movies have been released, including what I am told was a very good one last night. The glow-up has been very real for me, but more importantly, Kyra Leonard-Baker is the first ASU All-American gymnast since the year of our Lord 2010 years. On the bars, she scored that same 9.9 that Atkinson did to tie for 9th overall and to earn second-team All-American honors. She was the lone Gym Devil representing Innovation U in Fort Worth, and with still 2 years left in Tempe, leaves Sun Devil fans with plenty to look forward to.
The allure around Sun Devil hockey is growing, and as a result, the quality of its recruits are growing as well. With more on the recent recruits committing to Greg Power's squad, here's Reagan Smith.
The Sun Devils' 2018-19 hockey season was nothing short of a Cinderella story. The team won a program-high 21 games, and to top it all off, the team finished with its first ever NCAA tournament appearance. But while the action on the ice is finished, the focus now shifts towards recruitment and the building of momentum and tradition that has made ASU hockey what it is. In 2019, 6 new players will don the pitchfork for the first time, including 3 alternate captains from the same team, the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Here are a few of the names to keep an eye out for in 2019. Firstly, the primary focus has to be the offensive powerhouse of Logan Genuine. The 6' 2" forward from Michigan looks to bring an explosive edge to the Sun Devil attack for the 2019 season. Genuine spent his 18-19 campaign with the Amarillo Bulls in the NAHL, where in 59 games, Genuine tallied 60 goals. Needless to say, it shattered the NAHL single-season goal record. Flipping the ice to the defensive zone, the focus shifts to a player who had verbally committed to Arizona State back in 2016, in Jack Judson. Judson is a versatile defenseman who has a knack for finding and setting up the open man, generating 26 assists last season with the Vernon Vipers. Finally, Willie Nerum takes the spotlight as one of the 3 alternate captains from the Fighting Saints to join the Sun Devils. The winger from Illinois looks to bring a lot of strength and power to this ASU offense, and at 6 4" tall, his penalty stats back it up that Nerum isn't afraid to throw his body around, tallying 140 penalty minutes in 60 games. With equal parts good vision and solid hands, the 47-point scorer will be another solid piece to the Sun Devil puzzle.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment and my favorite segment of all time. Let's be real. Social media with my favorite social media guy of all time, Tyler Mannion. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for calling me your favorite social media guy of all time, Andre. It means a lot coming from you.
Absolutely.
Some history between the two of you?
No, only a little bit. So what do you got for us?
All right, so first tweet, Andre. We're going to, Avengers is coming out soon, Endgame. Came out last night, actually, but the first tweet comes from ASU Sun Devil women's hockey player and star goaltender, Jordan Nash Bolden, Nick's the expert here. And here's her tweet. She photoshopped, look at this incredible Photoshop job by Jobo here. You can see ASU women's hockey. So, guys, my question to you, what would you do if someone spoiled Endgame for you?
Here's the thing. I was maybe it's because I'm not connected to the Marvel Twitter, but I really didn't see any spoilers. But earlier today, I scrolled past about 6 successively, including LaShawn McCoy. And
I need you to stop right there. Nick, what would you do?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not a big Marvel person.
What am I doing on this show?
And that's how you get Tyler Mannion off social media.
Seriously.
No. That's a tough question. I think I might be a little offended because anyone who, whether or not you like someone, if someone intentionally spoils something for you, that's kind of a mean thing to do.
Agreed. Personally, I'm not a violent person, but we don't talk about what I would do. Second tweet going into a tweet from Eric Ruby, from my own grade, actually, good friend of the program here. Tweets, Cronkite students during finals week when they're here at Edit Bay Open, you see beautiful Brad Pitt there, and of course it's World War Z. So guys, my question for you is, give me a time when you fought to the death for an Edit Bay. You really, really needed that Edit Bay.
There's one situation that comes to mind, Troy Tauscher, you're going to love this one. My freshman year, Troy and I were working on a graphic for the last episode of CSL, and it was this cool thing that he was doing on the green screen that involved basketball recruits, and we couldn't get an edit bay during the day, so we probably stayed in Cronkite Thursday night until, I think it was maybe 4 a.m. doing it. We were getting vending machine snacks. The thing turned out dope. It was just a long night. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look no further than videography projects. When you're sitting there, you roll in at about 7:30 on an evening the night before it's due, and you cruise on up to the 6th floor, and it's just taken.
I feel that.
You hate to see it.
Feel that. Absolutely feel that. Being a videographer myself right now, that is 100% relatable. So third tweet now, Chris Cartman. Josh Christopher is ranked number 8 overall in 2020. Brother of ASU signee Caleb Christopher Marcus Bagley. We know who he's the brother of. And then, of course, you see the potential lineup that ASU basketball could hold in 2020, 2021 with the brother combinations and a Bagley on the roster. So my question to you guys is, if my brother Trevor, shout out Trev, was really, really talented at basketball, say, he's a junior in high school, do you think Bobby Hurley would take me on the squad?
Not a chance. I'm sorry. There's a reason that we at the Cronkite School are sports journalists and not athletes. We see a lot of wannabe athletes in intramurals. No offense, love you to death, but I don't think you can make the team.
Here's the thing. What was the motto for the team this year? Big guard you. You're missing one of those things.
Let me prove you wrong.
Oh,
Let me prove you wrong right now. Oh! Yeah! Yeah!
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm on the team now?
was a tremendous way to end. No.
I think I need to quit.
I tried. Yeah, you do.
Tremendous way to end the social media segment for our final episode of the semester. Tyler, thanks so much for coming on and giving us some gifts that'll last a lifetime.
Thanks, guys.
Andre, this has been a long show. Tyler, this has been a long show. I'm hungry. I'm tired.
Me too.
I want to get some dinner. So for that, we're going to turn to our resident waiter here at Cronkite Sports Live, Jacob Redner. Hey, Jacob, what's on the menu?
You ate here once and loved it so much that you came back for seconds. Folks, if Arizona State University is that restaurant, then this is the menu. Last semester, Cronkite Sports Live took a month-long break from shows, and we gave you the menu-style rundown for Sun Devil athletics while we were away. Now, with summer looming, the break is longer, the sports are greater, and the menu has been reset. Your dining options begin with Sun Devil baseball. Tracy Smith and the squad picked themselves up and out of the dirt this season with a top 25 performance to this point in the year. After this weekend up north against the Washington Huskies, the baseball team will play 13 more games highlighted by UCLA from May 3rd through May 5th, a one-game Territorial Cup in Tucson on May 7th, and a 3-game set from May 23rd through the 25th against the Stanford Cardinal to finish off the season. The College World Series field will be announced on Memorial Day. Also worth mention is the June 3rd MLB draft, where Hunter Bishop and Alec Marsh figure to be high-round selections. Now that we've wet your palates, we hop from one diamond to another for ASU softball. Their regular season features just 9 more games, including tonight through Sunday at Stanford. From May 3rd to May 5th, they host the Cal Bears and wrap up their regular season in Eugene against the Ducks from May 9th to 11th. NCAA softball regionals begin on May 17th. Now it's championship season, and in the main course of today's meal, we head over to the links, where women's golf, whose very own Olivia Mahaffey won the Pac-12 championship, will head down to NCAA regionals from Monday, May 6th through Wednesday, May 8th. Men's golf will play in the NCAA regionals on May 13th, should they qualify. For the 2018-19 school year, the menu is closed and the summer months are gearing up to get started. For this restaurant, though, it's a bottomless buffet of sports. It's a seemingly never-ending menu. So just remember, you can never overeat when it comes to sports.
It's time for a little healthy debate. That never hurt anybody, right? Yeah. People are always civil when they debate. It's time for the way it is. Time for the 2-box. Nick, I'll go ahead and get us going. N'Keal Harry going day one. Who do you think is the next Sun Devil to hear his name called?
I feel like it has to be Renell Wren. He's projected to be a day 3 pick. To me, that makes the most sense. Both him and Manny Bean, or maybe even Manny Wilkins, we'll see. But I'm going to go with Renell Wren.
You know, and I'm going to go with a hot take here. I don't think another Sun Devil hears his name called on this. Renell Wren, probably an undrafted free agent. I'm going to go with Eno Benjamin in next year's class. Ooh. Definitely one of the first couple rounds.
Okay, cool. So this next question I have for you, we're going to kind of wind things down. Looking back at the last year of Sun Devil athletics, what was your favorite moment?
You know, for me, it has to be when ASU men's basketball beat Kansas. A lot of people were wondering if ASU basketball was going to be a fluke. That really cemented that Bobby Hurley's building something special.
I would agree. For me, it was the baseball win streak to start the season. After the last 2 years and how rough they've been, it was refreshing as a reporter to cover a winning team, and obviously a really exciting story for ASU fans to have the team succeeding that much.
Yeah, and you look at it, just because our semester is ending doesn't mean ASU athletics are ending. True. What are you most excited to looking at going forward for ASU athletics?
Jacob gave us a lot of really good stuff on the menu. For me, the thing that I'm most excited for is to see what ASU baseball does over their final month or so of the season. It's a team that has enough talent to make it to the College World Series. I don't know if they're going to be deep enough, though, so I'm going to be following that really closely. What about you?
Yeah, for me, it's got to be the other diamond, softball. They've been so up and so down this year. It'll be curious to see how they finish with 9 games left, and if they get to the Women's College World Series, how far they go.
What I'm curious for, who's going to win the way it is. I feel like this is going to be rigged. You're a senior.
It's my last show. I really hope so. I think I have like 4 in my career, if we're being honest, and I've anchored for 2 semesters now, so.
This is rigged.
Hopefully.
Unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely rigged. Shouts to Aisha Curry. N'Keal Harry got drafted last night, which is great for Sun Devil football. However, the fact that it was so celebrated was largely because it was so rare. For as talent-laden as Arizona is proving to be at the high school level, ASU has had 10-win seasons and appearances in the Pac-12 title games and a number 6 ranking in the country all within the last few years, but they've failed miserably in arguably the most crucial area, NFL talent. At the end of the day, recruits are going to want to play somewhere that will help them get from playing on Saturdays to starring on Sundays. This was the biggest Achilles heel of Todd Graham and a large part of why he was fired. You could make the case that Todd Graham's best success was with Dennis Erickson's players. He got a lot wrong when it came to recruiting, but he got N'Keal right. Keeping the number 1 receiver in the state home was huge for the program. So what's my point? Graham is gone, so is Harry, and now it's all aboard the Herm train. Edwards, Antonio Pierce, and company are already proving to be a pretty formidable recruiting team, but the proof will be in the pudding over the next few years. For ASU to get to where Edwards wants it to be, the talent has to be here to do it. Recruiting is everything in college football, and Herm Edwards gets that. If he keeps things going in the right direction, we could be looking at a Sun Devil program where draft picks are the rule, not the exception. That's the way it is.
Normally we do the top 3 plays from the past week in the show. This week, it is the top 5 plays from the entire year. So many things to come through, but we're going to start out in Pennsylvania. Johnny Walker. It was November 3rd, his game-winning goal in overtime, a 4-3 victory for the Sun Devils over the Nittany Lions. The program's biggest win to date, just past goalie Peyton Jones. Nothing he could do. Johnny Walker's a special player to watch on the ice.
Taking you back to January 19th, Kenny Wooten should have made a business decision on this one. What do they teach you in the gym? Never jump. Zylan Cheatham, have some. Stuffs it down on the Oregon. We'll take a look from every single angle here. Also, shouts to Troy for that 4-angle look there. I love that.
March 2nd, top of the 10th, Money Miles Denson. His throw from right field kept that game tied at 5 in the 10th. His throw from right field to Sam Ferry was on target. The guys were stoked. He threw out Danny Gleaves at home plate. ASU went on to win that game 8-5 on a Spencer Torkelson walk-off in the bottom of the 11th. Oh my goodness, Miles Denson, his throw, it was on the money. Everyone was pumped up. That was fun.
On the money, Zahid Valencia on top of Mark Hall. This has been just 2 titans going at it in the wrestling world the past few years. They've gone head-to-head. Each of them has won a couple times, but Zahid Valencia coming out on top when it counts. Natty, second time around, going back-to-back. You see the air guitar. You see the smash. Zahid Valencia, individual dynasty.
That was good, but this was great. We've talked about him a lot already on this show. N'Keal Harry, real deal N'Keal. Look at this catch. Holy cow. At USC, one-handed catch. 28-yard pass from Manny Wilkins. ASU went on to win that game 38-35 one more time. Oh my goodness. N'Keal Harry, that man is absolutely ridiculous, Andre.
I honestly, you could give me the chance to do that without any defenders, and I still think I wouldn't be able to. And honestly, I will never be able to see that play and not think about our own Brady Clane missing that shot because of the USC DB. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but what you love to see is a great show. Our biggest season yet of Cronkite Sports Live, the 11th, and we're going to be back in the fall. Well, you won't be back here, but we as an organization, the Walter Cronkite Sports Network, will be back in the fall for season 12. Andre, it was a pleasure working with you for our entire production staff. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you after the summer break. Folks, don't go anywhere. Until then, have a good time.